It is Sunday night, and we are live in the Madhouse. I am Tommy Marr, your host for the Maverick Soul Hour. And tonight, folks, we got a great show. I have some soul brothers and sisters here with me tonight, and I'll get into that in a minute because I just want to go back and talk about a few things. As you all know, I hope you all watched last week. We had the Woodstock show from our 8 days up in Bethel at the Dancing Cat and Yazga's Farm, and our little trials and tribulations throughout the week. We showed a little bit. I hope we did it justice. EMI took us down because, I hate to say, we horribly put wooden ships up behind the, as we showed photos. So our Woodstock brothers, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, I guess their people didn't like that. So they took it off of YouTube. But feel free to go to Ustream and watch that show. Don't miss that show. If you weren't at Woodstock, or you always wanted to be at Woodstock and couldn't be, or you wanted to go up to Yazga's and check out what's the reunion shows, watch the show. It's as close as you'll ever get. And again, I want to thank Gerald and Zach and Sean and, of course, my brother forever, Roy Howard. I love you, man. I know you're always with me. I know that. I want to make another couple of announcements. I want to tremendously thank, last Saturday night, I actually got to book the Vanilla Fudge over at a theater over here at the Dix Hills Performing Arts Center. And I want to give my sincere thanks to my brother Vince Martell. I love you. Peg, love you. Love the whole band. It was great. Pete, Mark Stein, Carmine. It was a great night. We had the sound check with them. We did. And I got to announce it. If you want to go on the page, on my page, and check out me walking out, my dream come true to announce the Vanilla Fudge, my favorite band, I think, forever, man. I mean, 1967 was my favorite year in life, so it was a very cool thing. So, Vince, I love you guys, and I want to just let you guys know, if you really, really want to see an unbelievable show, September 25th at the Cutting Room in New York City, Vince Martell and Peg Pearl. Get to the Cutting Room. You will love, absolutely love. Vince is an amazing guy, and please go check the show out. It's a great venue, beautiful venue, and I give you my word, you will not be disappointed. You will actually love it because he is the greatest. I mean, as a human being, forget about music, he's a great guy, and she has the voice of an angel. So the Cutting Room, September 25th, be there. I want to make a quick little announcement. A friend of mine who actually recorded an album for me years ago, well, not for me, I worked on an album with a friend of mine, and he recorded it. But his name is Elliot, and his studio is Elliott Street Studio in Oceanside, New York. And we're going to actually be sponsoring him. He's got a CD release party coming out at, let me just get this right. I'm reading it off my phone, and I'm old, so just bear with me. The name of the band is Bison, and they're going to be playing their original music, their new album. And let me just see. It's called Sweet 1828. It's formerly Jugs and Strokers. You guys know that in Sunrise Highway in, I believe it's Belmore or Merrick, New York, right across from the train. Go there. It is on October 12th. And it's going to be a great show. I'm going to try my best to be there. Elliot asked me to come down and MC it for him. I'm going to try to do that because Elliot's a great guy, and he's done a lot of things with me, and he's a good guy. And if Elliot is telling me this band is good, I'm going to be there because he knows his music. He's recorded some big people in his studio. So Sweet 1828 on October 12th, Bison. Check it out. All right. We're going to go and we're going to take a little commercial, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to introduce you to some friends of mine that are going to just blow you away because they blew me away, and that's why they're here. So hang in there. Get yourself tight. You know what I'm talking about. Get relaxed. Get comfy. We'll be right back with some good stuff. Hang in there.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
I'm Tommy Marr. I'm down in St. Bart's having a good time. A lot of people at this time, they like to go have a little cocktail. But you know what I do? I'm going to watch MadhouseTV.com. You got that right. All right, we are back with the Maverick Soul Hour. I am your host, Tommy Marr. And I want to set up my show tonight before I get into it. As you all saw last week up at Woodstock at Yazga's Farm, that was Saturday, right? Saturday.
The show, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
That you played.
We were on Friday.
No,
You were on
we were
Friday.
Friday.
I'm sorry.
Friday.
That was the 15th?
I'm sure you can understand my mind might have been a little jarred.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, but I remember it was in the daytime, and I was walking along and doing my thing, and I started hearing this sound, and I was like, whoa. Instantly dragged right over there and stood right in front of the stage. And I took one video the entire time that I was there, and it was a video of this band that you're about to meet. But I want to give you a little bit of history as, well, not history because there's only a couple of weeks of history, but I was so sucked in by these guys. First of all, my man over here, which you'll meet in a minute, his voice just blew me away and drew me right in because that's where I come from, what he brings out. And then the harmonies between them, it just sucked me in. But then when they kicked it in on this song, I just said, wait a minute. I pulled my phone out, I videoed the whole song, and I probably listened to it I honestly, no baloney, probably 30 times I've listened to this, watched this video. It's just got a groove that it's a very unique groove. It's not something you hear every day. It's not like, oh, there's another whatever, It's a unique sound. It catches your ear. If you have a good ear, it catches your ear immediately, and you know it's something different. and you know it's something really good. And I knew immediately that I wanted to have something to do with these guys. And well, let's open up the cameras so we can see my friends here. Here we go. All right. Now, this is a band called DDRoyal. Now, where I met them was at Yazga's Farm. They were performing. I know this gentleman over here a little longer than the rest of them. Mike Stein, which has done the sound up at Yazga's and has worked up there with Roy for many, many years. And he's a great guy, and he's always been a great help to everybody, always has a good word, a great human being. And I'm very attracted to people like that because, you know, in this world that we live in, they're rare nowadays. So that's why I love going up there, because it was a village of these people. Yeah. You know, like I mean, on the show last week, I said it was like being on Venus. It was like being on another planet. Not an argument, not a fight. And we all talked about it before the show. Wonderful. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. I mean, no one could ever tell me anything different. And so Mike, I have known a little while, and now I want to introduce you to the rest of the boys. Now, this is the guy over here that grabbed me right away, immediately. Frankie D, my man. Now, these guys are all from Nyack. Well, I don't know. They're all in the vicinity of Nyack, but I would say the nucleus of them are from Nyack. And plus, that's the place I've heard of. The other places I never heard of. So let's stick with Nyack, right over the Tappan Zee Bridge. And I want to also let you guys know, I know a lot of producers watch this show, and I know a lot of venue owners watch this show. I want you to watch this show because you're going to want these guys in your place playing. I'm telling you. So just sit back and trust me. Trust me. Now, Frankie D brought me back old school, like how I was brought up. He has that...
gravelly.
It wasn't even so much the vocals as it was...
You got to feel it.
The raw soul just pouring out of his body. I mean, he had me from the get. He had me right from the get, and he had the clothes. He had everything going on. He had the whole deal going on. Yeah. But his voice is just, you know, I grew up in a time, you know, with James Brown is still That's like right. my biggest hero. Right. You know, Wilson Pickett. The list goes on and on. Yeah. And that soulful voice I love. But then, all of a sudden, this one over here kicks in.
Joni
Durant.
From Limerick Island, right?
I feel like
you're going to be my new Ed McMahon. I need you. You thought I was struggling there? You could bail me out. Right? No, I wasn't. I was all right. And this is her husband, Mike Durant. Two beautiful people, but it was a unique sound. And I mean, now when you got a Bobby Rush kind of guy up there, and then all of a sudden this angel jumps in, and the voices, the harmonies that they had, and then that groove kicked in. I was mesmerized. I literally was mesmerized. And we just did, you know, they're going to play acoustic tonight. They're not playing electric tonight, which I honestly wish you guys could see. So that'll even make you more want to go see them after you see them acoustically. But we were messing around before my bass player over there got here. And we were messing around vocally. And this is my heart. This is my soul. This is where I come from. This is good, raw talent. And you don't see it a lot anymore. I mean, you know, with the electronics and the whole baloney, you know, just going out and flat out just playing and singing and just doing it right is a rare thing. And you guys caught me. Now, Mike, you actually kind of run the band, right? Is that
more or less? Yeah. I take all the phone calls.
Well, I believe when I saw you at Yazga's and I grabbed you, I think I was riding along in a golf cart or something, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's correct.
And I said, I want to talk to you. And you said, and I said something about how good the song was. You said my husband arranged it. Did you arrange that song?
It was songwriters.
Yeah. Collaboration.
Oh, good. Because it was really it was, I don't know, it was just different.
It hits a musical buzz.
It
Somewhere
does.
in there, it's just
it
it's a
sucked me
feeling.
right in.
It's a feeling.
It sucked me right in. It sucked
Really?
everybody in, but I mean, usually I'll just keep on, keep on keeping on. But I did
No,
a,
no,
did a little moonwalk backwards, and
We're
I was like,
glad
this
you
is
did.
this is I want to be. Well, I chased you around
I'm
the whole
glad
night,
you
right?
did.
Everybody did. He did the record. And then Mike, I mean, it's the only time he
We've been
stepped
working
off that
for a long
soundboard
time.
I know.
the whole event
I know.
was to come up and play with us.
He also did get to work with one of the heroes of sound too, Mr. Bill Hanley.
Bill Hanley.
What a
Bill,
great guy,
Bill
right?
sat in a chair with a
mean,
little box, and that's how it was amazing watching that man work.
Oh, it's just amazing
Yeah.
seeing him. I mean, like, especially when you're on stage and you look out and you see Bill Hanley working the board.
Right.
It's like, whoa. He did it for our band last year. We were the only one he did it for last year.
Really?
Right, the greatest guy, the most humble, just peaceful kind of guy you'll ever want to meet, right?
It was a lot of fun letting him sit in there and
Oh, God.
and do the thing.
Yeah. There's, actually, if you check out Rich Balter's page, he was a photographer that came up, and I think Vera too. But Rich got some great pictures of you guys in the sound booth together. You might want to
Oh yeah,
check one of those out and get one blown up for your office or something, because that's pretty cool.
sounds good.
I mean, how many people
Those
get to
guys,
work with-
I give all the credit to the sound men, the crew. Those guys over the top.
The whole thing was
75, 80 bands in 3 days.
83 bands.
God bless
And
them.
that isn't counting, they put an extra stage on the other side of the barn that wasn't even supposed to be there until like Friday.
Well, where? Down on upper
On
level?
the other side of the barn.
Ah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because a lot of guys, there was another thing happening that didn't happen or something, so they all came over, and they set up a stage over there,
Yeah, no
too.
kidding.
I didn't get over there at all, but I heard there was some really good bands over there, too.
Nice.
Am I right? I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't get over there, so I don't know.
well, I didn't either.
Oh, okay. You were working.
I would have liked to have though and see what they were doing up there.
Yeah, I did too. It was just too much. Not too. It was like Gerald called me the other day, and she said she's going to tone it down with the bands and give everybody more time, which I agree with. Especially like a Milagro and these guys, DDRoyal. 40 minutes.
It's quite a
you
minute.
ain't even warming up yet.
Yeah,
you know what
it's-
I mean?
it's a minute,
So
yeah.
she was telling me the other day that they're going to cut down on the bands and give them more time, which is, I mean, come on, that makes a lot of sense. So we all agree with that one. But tell me, let me start with you. Tell me about the experience that you had with that. I mean, because we were talking a little bit about it. It is a.
How do you explain that? It's an inner feeling. The first couple of hours were you're getting
gonna
acclimated to the environment. We stood up a 14-foot teepee tent out in front of the stage, and it was an overwhelming of just
Peaceness.
acceptance of just everybody in their own world. Nobody spoke about work. There were no arguments. It was just
Right.
Very calm.
it was a very tranquil environment.
Yeah.
And then we got to go on stage. It was like, wow, yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, next year you guys got to go on at night. That's for sure. No question about
Yeah,
it.
nice.
The word's already out on that one, man. I was like, these guys got to be on at night because that was killer. Killer set. How about you, young lady? What was your take? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has an emotional feel of what went on there. And,
Right.
my curious, because I love to hear what people think of it.
Yeah, that was actually my very first time going to Woodstock. From a person from Ireland,
Right. I want to
stepping
be Jesus.
and stepping on that land. But it was great. It was just warm. The people were just so friendly. The music was just fabulous. The energy
Yeah,
that
one
was
after
just going
another,
around there,
yeah.
it was just amazing.
Isn't it a thing where you really sit back and say, why isn't the world like this?
You know,
Right?
I
Why
actually,
isn't
I
it
was,
like this?
yes, I
Why
was sitting
does it
there
have
and I
to be?
was,
And I mean, I'm not one,
Thinking.
believe me, like this. Listen, I've been in construction in Manhattan all my life. Rough road.
yeah,
But I also am a spiritual person, and I just don't get it, I don't get it. I mean, the morals are not being taught anymore. There's just so much anger. I mean, the kids, and there's no respect. You go in restaurants, and people cursing and throwing their phones and cutting lines and cutting you up and giving you the finger. And then you go up to something like that.
Well, it was like a
and you
cleansing.
go-
No kidding.
and
It really was like a
and you
cleansing.
and you actually said something very important. When you first get there, you actually go, wait a minute, what's this? Because it's not like the ugly world out there.
I didn't wanna
And you
leave my
don't- you
tent, you know, I didn't-
like it's like something's wrong. Like when someone's too nice, you go, all right, son, this guy wants something, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like that feeling.
But it didn't matter where you
And
go.
it kept
The whole
going.
the whole complex.
It
It
was-
was. Yeah.
I recommend anybody who cares about people
Oh, it's an experience.
to go there.
Yeah, so would
and
I.
just be amongst how we only wish it could be, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
If
Everybody
every
should.
day could be like those 3 days, what a beautiful world it would
Oh,
be.
wouldn't
right?
it? Wouldn't it? It's like a harmonious vibe.
And
And you put
know
sound
what?
into it? Yeah.
Probably a lot of those people live. I mean, listen, hey, I'm not saying I was, Mr. Angel Boy either, but if only it could just turn into that rather than the anger and the, you're always on a defense. Now you got to work. And these games and these kids, punching out 88-year-olds.
Oh,
I know I
communication.
said it
Yeah,
last week.
yeah, I know.
I know I'll get 100 emails. You said
Yeah.
that last week. But you know what? When I saw the videos of these people punching out old people and thinking it's funny.
For a game. For a game. I
no,
mean,
and thinking it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Do that with me and my friends hanging around.
Oh, no kidding.
Even though we old, you getting a beat down you never seen in your life. I guarantee it. Because you don't do that crap where how we grew up. You don't. That don't exist. Any punk that punches an 88-year-old woman carrying a bag of groceries, there is
That's
not even.
punk.
I mean, really, there's.
ridiculous.
I just hope you get a great big cellmate that's really horny. That's all I can. That's all I can tell you. But I do want to hear a little more from you. Now, you're from Ireland? Mm-hmm. Where?
Limerick.
Oh, I'm a Tipperary man.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Is it?
It is beautiful.
no, we had lunch
No,
in Tipperary
actually-
once, yeah.
Yeah. Tipperary is not too far from Limerick.
There's a lot of Mars there.
There's a lot of what?
Mars.
Oh, yeah.
A
right.
lot.
Mahers, they call it.
Maher.
Maher, Mahers.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them there. But now, how long have you been in America?
Since 1985.
Did he kidnap you?
Well, actually, he wasn't the first one to do it.
I
It
had
was
two of
just-
those too. I know.
Yeah. No, but he did come around in that era of that time. And he was my best friend.
Well, isn't it
So-
really the best hope you could have? Isn't happiness the best thing in the world? I mean, you can have all the money in the world. If don't you? You probably know a lot of people with money. Most of them are miserable.
Yeah, well, the
You know,
majority.
Because
The
they don't really
majority.
realize what's important. Or
Yeah.
that the good stuff doesn't really cost money.
Right.
I'm just learning this. Believe me, I'm a learner. But
Yeah, money is not everything.
no.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
it helps. Don't get me wrong. It helps.
You have to know how to use it
That's
Right.
exactly
for
Exactly.
positive purposes.
Exactly.
Right. Absolutely.
Then you don't get in trouble.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the toys and all that baloney, I mean, we all probably went through that, in your 30s or whatever. But now I look at trees, I never looked at trees, and I look at the sunsets, I look at the sunrises, I look at the waves, I look at things
The
differently.
important stuff, yeah.
Because really, it is more beautiful than, I mean, like I have a motorcycle sitting in my garage that I haven't ridden in probably 4 years, I mean, just sitting there. Big deal, I mean, it's nice, but.
You still got to put gas in the car to get to the wave,
I
so.
enjoy walking 5 miles every day more. I do. I actually do.
That's
But
good.
that's me. What can I tell you? So, my man,
Mr. T.
my man. Now, you're coming out of the same place as I came
Oh,
from.
yeah.
That's without a doubt. I mean, I grew up with, actually, we'll talk later about this guy, because
Yeah.
you might even know this cat. But I dragged this guy into playing drums when I was a kid, but he ended up playing drums for everybody. Barbra Streisand, I mean, the OJs, I mean,
Good.
you name it, this guy has played for them. Vinlow Odom, if you might know his name. He's played with everybody. He was black, I was white, he was little, I was tall, but I grew up in a very, very mixed neighborhood, and I was on the other side of the tracks.
Okay.
So I grew up,
Americanized.
reality,
yeah, with
reality-wise.
all the
I mean,
cultures
you
and
can live in
what-
your bubble, but you
Yeah.
know what?
You got to
The real world is over here.
Interact.
Which I thank every day. I thank God that I did get to grow up like
Yes,
that, because my father was a big guy and a bartender and a construction guy, but he was the most kind-hearted man I ever met in my life as far as treating people right. And we grew up in a black neighborhood, and he just, that word never came out, and he just raised me
Good
right.
man.
He raised me right. And but growing up in this neighborhood, I learned, I mean, Vinlow would bring me over his house, and he would be at my house, I'd be at his house, and we would sit down. He would play James Brown for me. I didn't know James, but he would play James Brown,
Yeah.
45s. We'd sit there and we'd play. I'd bring him over to my house. I'd play Beach Boys for him. So
Yeah.
we kind of mixed, and we started a little
Combination,
thing
that's
called the
right.
Midnight Marauders. That
Go
was
ahead.
our thing.
Combination's
So
good.
Vinlow, if you're, I know you're laying on the floor if you're watching this, but he's been on my show a couple times too. But so I was brought up with that. The Temptations, the Four Tops, Smokey, all of that stuff. It was that's what's in my blood, and you know, I think it's something that it's really lacking now. There's no raw. You know, I love the word raw when I hear about a singer, and when I heard you, I knew it was just as raw as it gets.
You got to personalize
You
the
know,
music.
you didn't even personalize. You were just being, you.
Thank you,
I
G,
mean,
okay.
you weren't trying to do it. I mean,
that's what I do.
That's what makes it good.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you were just being you,
Yeah.
and that's what sucks the people in.
Yeah.
You know, that's what sucked me in. I was like, you know, it was cool.
But when
and
I-
I see my man over here on the drums, I'm like, I didn't even know this guy played. You know, I always see him on a soundboard.
I do a lot of things people don't know.
Obviously, because now he's playing bass.
Hey, he plays the drums,
He's
but
very
he helped write
Very
most of
talented
He
man.
helped write most of the bass lines on the CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, it shocked me because I asked him to send me a couple pictures, and he sends me a picture, and you got a bass in your hand. I'm like, wait a minute, he's the drummer. I didn't know you played bass.
Well, you don't remember last year at
don't-
Yaskers?
I
I
don't
played bass
remember
with the
last
Bums.
year.
Oh, the
Dharma
Dharma
Bums.
Bums. Yeah, yeah.
I might not have, because
Oh, you were there.
I was there for your set.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had.
He's talking about the picture. Remember the Guitars for Life stage?
Oh, yeah.
Bernard Purdy and all those guys?
Oh, absolutely.
You were playing bass, so that's the picture I sent.
But I do want to thank you and your crew up there because you guys, I mean, the way you treat people and that it's really, really, you know, like a lot of people in sound and that have really bad attitudes. They do, but these guys are just
Oh, they were
like,
great.
What can I get? You know, making sure everything was cool. I really thank you.
We
for
want
that.
the bands to sound
Yeah.
great. We want the
Well,
performance to be good.
That's how like
It's
I'm
not
here.
like you're here for us. We're here for them.
Right. Well, that's why, like when you came in, I said, hey, I want you to be happy. I don't want to be happy. I want you to be happy because I want you to present yourself how you want to be. And we did make some changes tonight, and my man over here, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
So
he's a
I'm
good
like,
man.
go with it. You're good. So, but let me get back to you. Tell me a little bit about where it came from. I mean, where did it come from?
My family's all musicians. I'm from the Humphrey family.
Right.
And they were senior jazz musicians. And if you look up Humphrey family, they're like Roger Humphrey.
Okay, so you've been around it all your
All
life.
my life since I was born.
Right.
And my mother had a bar when I was a kid in Long Island. So I've been dancing since I was a little baby. You know what I mean? So, but what I liked about it was the music was like an assignment that universalized everybody.
Right.
Because when I was a little kid in Long Island, there's like 4 black families, and nobody made any difference. It didn't
Where
make it.
in Long Island?
It was near Riverhead. I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
So I was just like 5 years old, and we moved around. But what I did like about an assignment, which is our music, it brings people together.
Still
And that's why the Woodstock thing was such a good thing, because I remember when I was a little kid, you talking about 69-ish, it was a rough ride for America, if you know what I mean.
I was there. I was there.
But what happens with Woodstock, that was the place that everybody said, I'm not listening to anybody but myself,
Right.
and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to make peace my own. And when I went this last time, I felt what they ran to.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful.
Well,
It
see,
was
I say this
wonderful.
to everyone I meet. I mean, Woodstock, I was there. And Woodstock was a phenomenal music event. It brought us the West Coast bands that we never heard of, Santana, Grateful Dead. I mean, they really were unknown people at the time. Joe Cocker, well, he was from England. But I mean,
Yeah.
10 years
All
after.
the big
I mean,
boys.
no one really, very few people, especially younger people. I was probably, I think I was 17, turning 18. And, I never heard of Santana and all that, and so it opened up. But I still say, and I have a page called The Woodstock Guru on Facebook, and it's not about Woodstock. It's about what happened at Woodstock with the people on the hill, who I still say to this day, the musicians were great, but they weren't the stars of the show. The people that were sitting on that hill were the stars
That's
of
right.
that show.
That's right.
Because I'll tell you right now, just as it was on this weekend, there was not a fight, there was not a harsh word, there was not an argument, there was nothing. Somebody had a sandwich, they took a bite, handed it down, drink, handed it down, didn't even know the people. I have a picture in my living room, and Janine can attest to it. It's a big, giant picture like this, black and white. I don't know when it was or what was going on, but it was actually an aerial shot of everybody on the hill, but everybody was sitting. And you can literally see, and I mean 500,000 people, you can literally see that everyone's shoulder is touching the person next to him. Now, you go to the drugstore now and touch someone's shoulder.
Yeah, no
You're getting
kidding.
shot. You're getting shot. You know, and that to me was, you know, and I should
But
have not
that
called
was
it
that
the Woodstock
harmonious
tour.
vibe. And the
That's
music
what I
brought
mean.
you there.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
the music
you
can
know,
bring this whole world. I mean,
That's what it does.
It did at that time.
Yeah.
And it also ruined it when the guy got stabbed to death with the Stones concert in California. That's what it kind of
Oh,
ended.
yeah.
But
yeah.
that's, see, it's
That's the opposite
it's
side of
built
the
up
spectrum.
great. This is
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, how did they pull this? And then it kind of, you know, it went the other way. And Vietnam didn't help and a lot of that stuff. But I don't want to get into the political stuff. But I want to get back into your coming into this world in music.
Yeah, it's music has always been wonderful. Plus the variety of people that you meet, and it's just a harmonic feeling. That's what harmony is like everything. So when you sing in harmony, I like living in harmony. So when they say stick to your own kind, that means people who do what you
Right.
do, and that's a broader step. And it's a lifelong experience when you do that, because as you stick to your assignment, okay, I'm a particular singer. So musicians are my best brothers
Right.
because they're doing the same kind of harmony. I'm as versatile as you too because I like construction.
Right.
So, but in that
I
same,
didn't say I
this-
liked it. I just said I did it.
after you did it for a number of years, you
My
like it.
body didn't like it. It's paying the price now, but I did what I had to do for my family.
But the point being made, I take the music as the calculus, and I utilize that throughout my life with everything I've
Right.
done.
Right.
And it's a harmony. You'd
Right.
be surprised how much it's easier to look at things together than it is separate.
And don't you also believe that music erases racism?
That's what
I mean,
that's the biggest point. Yeah.
What was the first thing after you walked off that stage?
Well, just warm. While I was on stage,
Was I
it
standing
warm.
there waiting for you?
Actually, you. And
I
suppose I call it
was
Janine. I call
standing
it
there
Donna
waiting
Teller.
for you.
They
I
were
just had to meet him.
Hollywood.
And then I ran into you on the golf cart. I gotta talk to you guys. And then I'm with him. Like, I didn't even know you were, you know.
Yeah.
It was, I mean,
It was wonderful.
like you said, it's like, it breaks down all the barriers. It breaks
Yeah.
all the barriers
Yeah.
down. I mean, and there's no, and the condensation, I mean, it's just like there's no, you know, there's a lot of jealousy in music too. I mean, which is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sad.
yeah,
I
those
mean,
are
it's
the
sad.
games,
It's
yeah.
sad.
That is
But-
it.
But when it gets down to something like this, like it takes things like this to make it like,
Yeah.
guys, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to
Period.
be. Not like that. I respect you. I don't care what you do. If that's you, I respect it. I respect that, and that's the way it should be in life. And you know, I mean, I couldn't get enough of that place. I would like to
Oh,
stay
it
there
was
the rest
like a
of my life.
vacation.
You know?
It was wonderful.
It was
And
good.
what I
And I know you
enjoyed-
didn't wanna leave
I
either.
enjoyed.
None of us did. I mean,
He said you dragged.
Yeah.
You're not gonna blame somebody.
Responsibility.
Well,
I know what he said.
Making me leave.
I know what he
Making
said.
me leave.
I know, but wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been there. He'd been trying to get to what's that, Frankie? You're going to Woodstock with us. I said, okay, Mike. That was a couple of years ago, and he made it happen.
Well, let me tell you
yeah,
something. You brought a
that's
lot.
my- that's
You
my
brought a lot
songwriting
to it.
partner.
Let me tell you something.
It was a privilege. It was really a privilege.
It was.
And
It
the
was.
beautiful
It was
part
an
was
honor.
meeting you was a
It was an
good
honor.
thing too, because you're something else,
Look,
young
look, you're
fella.
all over the world
You're
right now.
something else, young
Yeah,
fella.
Right, you're all over the world.
You're
There's people
something
in
else.
Poland watching you right now.
right.
Hey, these guys be great in Japan, Germany.
Oh yeah, that
These guys
it
would
be
kill
fun.
over there.
Yeah, I
that's-
played drums in Japan back in the 80s.
Yeah.
We played the Unkunchi
Well, I mean,
Festival.
you know, unfortunately, and it goes to the big bands too. And you know, I mean, this guy, he works out for
Mike?
the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah, no doubt.
But even the big bands, like I had 10 Years After on my show, they still fill 70,000 in Europe, but they can't even, you know, BB King's, they're lucky if they could fill it. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
It's
whether
a
they're
horrible
just
thing,
getting
I know.
into it or whatever it is, but like Japan is big, Germany's big,
Europe, all of
you know, Amsterdam, all of
Oh, we'd be
Let's go to
superstars over there.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, let's go to Amsterdam. There you go.
I don't know if we remember, but we'll go there.
All right, we'll have a good. Someone will tell us we had a good time, right?
Yeah, it's something.
And of course, I got to talk to my man over here. How many years have you worked up there at the reunion?
Well, as an organized thing, I'd say I've probably been doing the sound there for the last 4 years.
Right.
My first year up there, I went up there. I'd never been to Roy and Gerald's farm until '98. That was my first year up there. That's when I got involved. I got into it. I met them, and I just, the bug bit me. Now before that, I knew about the Woodstock Festival as a little 7-year-old kid.
Right.
I was real hip about music and about what was going on in the world back then. My parents weren't. They were like into the Frank Sinatra,
Oh, hey.
Tony Bennett.
It's
thing.
It's us telling the kids, Zeppelin and the Beatles,
I was
They
into the
wanna hear
Beatles,
Eminem, 50
Beatles,
Cent,
Stones,
Right.
all the groups of the early '60s, big time, because my cousins used to play those little 45s on the little turntable there,
Exactly right.
and even as young as like 2 years old, they said I'd be dancing to it. I have no memories of that, but I was into the music in a big way. So, when Woodstock came along, I knew about it, and it was very interesting to me, even as a 7-year-old kid. On top of that, we had a really cool music teacher in our elementary school that used to come and bring records and play them on this little cart.
That's
and
cool.
she was an old lady, and she was playing like The Who, Tommy.
Really?
She was playing Neil Young. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. Yes. She was playing Yes, Fragile.
Yeah, lucky you. That's a great teacher.
And I,
That's a teacher.
We need
I
teachers
couldn't,
like that.
I couldn't believe it because you would never think in a million years
Right.
that an elderly lady would come in and play stuff like that.
She
Well,
inspired
hey,
you.
In a million years, you would
Well,
never know.
What the weekend we're talking about is a perfect example of that. Don't judge people by the way they look.
No way,
If
no
you
way.
did, you would be going like, I'm out of here. Because there was some crazy looking people. But the most beautiful people you ever want to meet.
So as soon as I was old enough to like drive and move around, I drove up there. I drove up to the hill, and to look at it.
It's
This is in my
magical,
later
isn't it?
teens. It's still magic.
I-
You go there, and now there's this monument at the
Right.
bottom of the hill there that's there permanently. You go there, and you still feel like something's there. The spirit
Well, there
of
is.
the event is
There
still there. It's almost like it'll never
Well,
go away.
I got to tell you, and
mystical.
You can
Janine-
feel it.
Janine
You
and
can
I
actually
have been-
feel it physically.
Without a doubt. And the reason I'm butting in a little bit is because we were very close, Roy and I and Gerald, and but Roy and I were like brothers, and we would go up there probably 12 times a year, and we would spend lots of time, and even right up to when he passed away, I talked to Roy probably at least 4 times a week. Every time I'd walk in the morning, we'd talk. We were very close, but we would go up there a lot, and even if we went up and we were riding by at 4 o'clock in the morning, my car would magically make a turn on Happy Avenue or coming back the other way, up to 54 or whatever.
West Shore Road or whatever.
Yeah, and I would, even if it was in the pitch black, I had to ride by that hill. I had to, and like you said, you actually
just magical.
physically feel it. I mean, I've actually heard music when there was none. And I'm not kidding, and Janine can attest to this too. I mean, we went out, remember when the totem pole was out in the middle?
Yes.
It was like a friend of mine actually carved this thing. It was like 30 foot tall. It had Joplin and Morrison and I forget who
Yeah, I've
was
seen
who was
pictures of
on
that,
it.
yeah.
But they were all carved on it. And it was just, and Duke Devlin, right?
I know Duke very
So
well.
it was just Duke, me, and Janine, and we were talking about where I was in '69. And I said, and at that time was Bethel Woods was taking over. They didn't build anything yet. And I said, I know these guys are like, a little funny about, he says, go ahead, we'll walk out, I want to go up to the totem pole. And, it doesn't look far until you start walking. You're like, holy Christ, going up the hill. But Janine and I just laid down underneath the totem pole, and I'll never forget it. We were laying there, and we felt these waves coming down over our bodies like this. Now, I know you think I'm tripping. I wasn't.
No, it's like a cleansing.
But it was,
no,
it's
it's
true. Exactly.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, these birds, like 20 at a clip, kept going. And we're laying there like this. And you could feel, and then we started hearing this music. And actually, Duke took pictures of this. He was by the monument, so it's little teeny tiny people. But I will never forget that feeling. And every time I walk on that stage, where the stage originally was, it's like you said, you physically feel it. You do.
You know, in 1998, when I first went up to Roy and Gerald's, just to see what was going on there, because there was a million cars, on the side of the road, parked on their property. So I had to go in. And, they had a few stages set up, and bands were playing and all that. This guy, Roop, was doing sound. One
Teach.
of them. Teach.
He was doing
No,
sound?
Roop.
Oh, because his name is Teach Roop.
Yeah. Well, Roop the electrician.
Oh, I
He
know
was
who you
doing
mean.
sound.
I know who you mean.
And also Zoot was up there doing sound,
Zoot?
who I know.
Zoot does Bet the Woods.
Yep. And I work with him
He
there.
does Dancing Cat once in a while.
And I introduced myself to Roy and Gerald for the first time. And, they were happy to meet me. And there was a guy there, I think it was like their stage manager or something. His name was John Stein. No relation. But I think they remembered because subsequently after that, I kept coming back every year, reintroducing myself till they finally got to know me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once it was at like that tipping point, they invited me into their home all the time.
yeah.
And, we just became very good friends. And
That's
I'll
how-
always be grateful for that.
Really.
That
Me
they
too.
would, because I was a perfect stranger in the beginning,
Hey,
really.
we pulled up in the driveway, and I wanted to take a picture of the barn. Yazga's on it, and Gerald and Zach actually walked out, and she said, "How you doing?" Next thing you know, we're in the house. We're having hot dogs. And,
Exactly.
Roy. And then we just became really tight. But listen, we got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about where this band is going and what they're doing. I hope you're hanging with us. I know this is a good one. The conversation's great. I love it. We'll be right back after this commercial.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Thank you.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
All right, we are back with the Maverick Soul in the Madhouse. And I am with DDRoyal right here, the band that I met up at Yaz's farm that caught my eye and my ear. And like I was just telling him, I said, hey, man, there was 83 bands. You're the only guys that are here. So they caught my ear. But we were just talking through the commercial, and you wanted to say a couple of words about the band.
Well, this is the only band that I've ever been in where the songs are just happy songs.
Something the world needs.
You know, something the world really needs. I tell him this all the time, that, you know, and you know, because he writes the music, Frankie writes the words, Joni writes the words. It's just good, wholesome stuff.
It is.
There's not a curse word in it. You know, it's not about, you know, death and destruction or any of this kind of stuff.
Royalty.
It's just happy stuff. You know, a lot of it's danceable, and I love it. You know, and that's why I've been with these guys for 14 years already.
You know, before you got here, we were messing around over here.
It's been that long.
Man, I would be in this band in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I wish I lived in Nyack. I'd be in 2 seconds.
We're going to come
I
find
love
you.
it. I love it.
And we've been through thick and thin together. Really have. We've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gigs. You know, paid, not paid, benefits. You know, all kinds of street fairs.
Did you ever play Ricky Farms?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh no, we haven't played. I've played there,
Well,
but we'll get him to get us there somehow.
He's a good guy. He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
I know Jamie now for
Jamie's
several
a
years.
great guy. Jamie, get these guys up there. You still got a couple shows left. And
We'll be there.
Yeah, I tell anybody that's, I mean, and you guys will travel, right, for gigs?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, listen, man, these guys are hot. They're hot, and which you will see in a minute. But also, I hear that you run quite a little gig on what night?
Yeah, every Wednesday in Nyack, New York, my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little calculus. It's Wednesday night at Olives. It's a cafe. And that's where I get all the youthful musicians in.
There you go.
They call me Mr. D. And it's funny to watch them over a period of like 10, 15 years as they grow. How music has changed how they act. When they first come in, they're like heavy metal, wah!
Yeah, yeah.
And then after a while, they'll see the maturity. And then you should hear their bands now. They actually conform to a truth.
Right.
Actually, they started listening more because they're fascinated by the tones that come out. So since I have the blessing with the tones, I make sure I speak positive words, and it just blends and it echoes. It's a
Now,
great thing.
doesn't that make your soul feel good when you say?
I feel like living.
No, but I mean,
Yeah,
when
it's
you
true.
know, you don't think,
Yeah. No,
you
no,
know
of
that you
course.
touched something in these kids and made them
Yeah.
better people
I
for it.
witnessed that with him.
And the
When they
beautiful
were
part
teenagers
is,
to adults, and
the beautiful
hot open
part
mic.
is,
Well, any singer that would see him might change the way they sing. I mean, I'm listening to him real hard, real hard.
And he does it naturally.
I know.
It's
Who was
just
that
natural.
guy down at the village?
so
Remember
many.
the old? He used to sing behind the bar. He was behind the bar itself. He sat around it. Wasn't Frankie Paris, was it?
Paris. Yeah,
John Paris?
No,
He-
not John.
he was in the village. His
in
name
the
was
village.
Frankie something, Italian.
Frankie
I
Paris.
think it was Paris. Yeah, because
Yeah,
every time we
he
go to the
died
village,
years
we
back.
go down there and
Great
see him.
entertainer.
Yeah, it was funny. We went to see him, me and Mike and Junior, my songwriting team. We went to the city. And as soon as I came in, I'm also
Nyack?
Hey,
holy
that's
smokes.
5 minutes away from the house. So I came in. I always got to have on my swag because that's a part of the presentation is your visuals.
Listen, man, that was the first
And
thing
as soon
caught
as
my
I
eye.
came in, he goes, he must can sing. Look at that coat he got on. And we got on stage, and it was
And
that was
does,
it.
music
and that
is
does
awesome.
mean
Yeah,
something
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like I've been in a lot of bands, and I said, you want to look like a garage band, you have to be. It does make a
Yeah,
difference.
presentation
It does,
has a lot to do with it.
I mean, the first thing you seen in Yazga's
Yeah.
was that white outfit you had on, and my man doing all of this business. I'm like,
Glad to make sure
it
you
sucks
can see
you
me.
in. It sucks you in.
Yeah.
It's so unassuming because it's just so different.
It's real.
It's
real.
different from
Thank you.
anything you've
It's
seen.
real.
And this band is such a hodgepodge of different backgrounds and cultures. But when you put it together, it works.
It works.
That's how
It's
you
been
make
working
stew.
for 14 years,
That's how you make stew.
if not longer.
Yeah, let it simmer.
You know, it isn't just chicken broth. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's. I knew it was a rare thing the minute I heard you guys. I did. I think I have a very good ear for talent, and you guys definitely are talented people.
Well, thank you.
And
I appreciate
I think that's why I wanted you on the show, because I wanted the world to see. And let's face it, you're all over the world right now. I mean, a lot of our troops are watching you because they watch Madhouse TV because
Yes.
they can't get American TV over there, so they do watch the computer and they do watch the show. So we love you guys, and we thank
thank
you
you.
every
Yeah.
minute of our lives for
Everyone
giving
is.
us our freedom.
Thank time.
And it's we know the price you pay. But I can't say enough about this band. I'm probably sounding redundant.
No, well, thank you for all the kind
you
of
want me to
words.
keep going about how great?
No, no.
They are unbelievable.
I came down to listen to music.
Unbelievable. They're amazing. They're incredible.
Let me flip
No,
my
but they
guitar.
really, truly are. And we're going to get them up on the stage. I think we might have a couple pictures. Janine, did you already show some pictures? I wasn't looking. Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah, here's a couple pictures. Anybody want to talk about these?
Yes, the Nyack, that was the,
That's the lovers, right?
we were getting ready to go on stage. Frankie was on stage there.
Oh, okay.
That was Nyack, yeah.
Yes, nah.
Yeah, I was dreaming. What can I say?
Yeah, that's
There he is.
that's the end of
There he
Woodstock.
is.
Yeah.
There you are.
Remember that stage, Mike?
Oh,
see,
God,
I
that's
saw
what
that
I'm saying.
picture.
That's
I was
from
like,
Guitars for
Yeah,
Life.
that's it. Yeah.
That's from a long time ago.
You look good. You look the same.
Yeah,
That's at Woodstock, right?
Yeah,
Woodstock, yes.
I lost my cell phone off my boat a month ago. All my pictures, no backups.
Oh,
Then I got hit with
I
a
went through
virus
it.
on my computer.
I went through it
I
too.
couldn't.
You know what pissed me off more than anything? I got to tell you, is I have 6 grandsons that live with me, and I always record their voices when they come in and go, hey, Graham, you know, that cute little when they're like 1 and 2.
With the
and they
babies?
start
Yeah.
talking. And I had all that stuff on my phone.
Oh,
And,
get out of here, really?
I still have the phone. I just haven't found a person that was able to get it off because I pray to God that I could get that off because, man,
It's
you
gold.
can't put a price
It's
on that
invaluable.
stuff.
That's invaluable
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you guys ready to do your thing?
Oh, yes. When you
Yes,
go
sir.
Yes, we are.
Is there anything else we can? First of all, how do people get a hold of you?
Your point.
Go to the
Why I'm
website.
here. I make
Yeah,
good
no.
points.
Yeah, it's a
Go
good
to the
point.
websites.
Yeah, the
Well, you're on
website.
Facebook, right?
Yeah, Facebook. You go DDRoyal. You can go
There you go.
Mike Duran, Joan Duran, Mike Stein.
Well, I guess the main thing would be DDRoyal, right?
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
I mean, go to DDRoyal, and that'll be your
That'll
first
give
way
you
to
all
get
the
it.
You know, when you type that, no spaces. DDRoyal, one word.
That's from my 420 people. No spaces.
As far as I know, it's the only DDRoyal in the world.
Then you don't even worry about the spaces.
No, you put space in. Some medical DDRoyal thing
Yeah,
comes
everybody.
up. It's,
Oh, really?
They,
But
jump
just
on
the way it
quick.
is with no space in
Yeah.
between, and the
Leave
band,
it.
you know, band names. Everyone copies band
Right,
names.
right.
There's a million
And
majesties
that's another
out
thing I
there.
think is very important. The name of
What's that?
There's no band in the world other than us called DDRoyal.
There you go. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to go to commercial. Are you good, young lady?
I'm
Isn't
very
she
good.
beautiful? Nice Irish girl. You're a lucky guy.
luckiest guy in the world,
Ain't he?
man.
He is. So now comes the fun part. Now you get to see these guys live. So hang in there. Get real tight now because the good stuff's coming. All right? We'll be right back with DDRoyal live in the Madhouse Studios right on that stage over there.
Great.
Oh, sure. Would you ever? I'd be so honored. Jimmy, you get one slide. Get the picture quick before I die. Come on, get the picture.
This is an original t-shirt from Woodstock back in
Original
1969.
T-shirt. Signed. Put your face in the middle, man. Signed by all the artists. This young fella right here is in his possession, and he's sharing it with us. So get a good picture of it, please.
It's amazing the most you can get to it.
I can't believe I'm here. I lived through 69. I was one. Yeah, right. 100.
Got it?
I don't want to let it go. Shama! Bless you, sir. It's a wonderful thing. Thanks for sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, je ne sais quoi. As in Joan Durant.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive, selected for their unique, memorable flavor. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
YesWeCare.net is a 501c3 charity that provides help to veterans and their families. Please visit YesWeCare.net and donate in any way you can by purchasing our beautiful frame prints or relaxation CDs and DVDs, even smooth jazz CDs. YesWeCare.net. Remember, our troops are on their way home. They need all the support they can get. YesWeCare.net.
Guys, it's Joe and Tommy from Madhouse TV and Renee Marie Stroke of Luck show. We just got finished taping. Earlier during the show I had mentioned about doing something about a whipped cream in the face, something comparable to the Ice Bucket Challenge. For our purpose would be for stroke awareness and aphasia, and we were talking with my buddy Tommy here, and he had a different twist on it. So go ahead, Tommy.
Well, as we all feel, there isn't enough kindness in the world today. And I know through my Facebook pages, I have a page set up just to help bring kindness back into the world. And like I said, every wave starts with a little ripple. So we're going to be the little ripple. And
Absolutely.
What we need from you guys is, we want some ideas from you guys how we can put together an act of kindness in the same direction as the Ice Bucket for ALS, which is a great idea, and it's
phenomenal.
It's done great, but also bring awareness to stroke victims. And so what we're looking for is someone to come up with a great idea how to make an act of kindness the same as the bucket, because we would be killing two birds with one stone.
Right.
Because we'll get the point across, we'll raise some money, and there'll be a little more kindness in the world. Wouldn't
Absolutely.
that be nice?
That would be great. So we're accomplishing more than just one thing.
And whoever comes up with the great idea,
that's right,
is going to be a guest host on Renee's show.
Absolutely.
And you will be here in Madhouse Studios. You'll get a carte blanche, and you'll do your thing.
That's right. That's what we're all about.
Let's hear all your ideas. And Joe, how do they contact?
Okay, Renee Marie's languageoflove.org. Contact, again, Renee Marie's languageoflove.org. Please send in as many ideas as possible. You can send in 20 if you want. The more the better. once we do a selection, we're going to start, whatever we pick, you'll be on, and we'll start from that point on. And like Tommy said, a little kindness in the world, a little donations, and everything like that. So from that point, goodbye to everybody. Thank you.
Have a great
guys.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
All right, we are back in the Madhouse with the Maverick Soul. I am Tommy Moore, your host, and it is with my honor, and I'm so happy to introduce this band to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, our friends from Yazga's Farm, DDRoyal.
Look like a freight train. I got no go betray. Yo, I lost everything I thought I had. Lord, I never give it back. My baby, you've been went away. Well, now I'm not the medicine need. No, a whole family saying I told you so. How could this happen to me?
Well, I know that a change is gonna come. I'll be around to tell someone.
Just didn't happen to you. You know it just didn't happen to you. Just didn't happen to you. You know it just didn't happen to you, baby. Grabbed a hold of my bootstrings. I walk all over the town, y'all. I kept my mind on the main things. You were around. Whoa, so funny how easily I should have paid me away, y'all. Oh, when you're living on the right track, children, should I believe that you did?
Well, I know that a change is gonna come. So I'll be around to tell someone. Just didn't happen to you. You know it just didn't happen to you.
No, just didn't happen to you.
You know it just didn't happen to you,
DDRoyal coming at you. We're a songwriting team based out in New York. A song called Entertainer. I just come to join hearted, 'cause the seed is been too long. Time consumed like a wild brush fire, rolling around with no sight in view. To sit and be is a privilege to me. Just a little peace is a wonderful thing.
Come along and sing with us.
Sing with us.
You are welcome to join along.
Come, you know.
Come along and sing with
Just
us.
sing with us.
You are welcome to join along.
Time consumed like a wild brush fire, running around with no sight in view. To sit and be is a privilege to me. Every little face is a wonderful thing.
Come along and sing with us.
Sing with us.
You are welcome to join along.
Come on along.
Come along and sing with
Just
us.
sing with us.
You are welcome to join along.
Lady Joni, sing.
You never made me feel this way. Oh, that is how I think of you. Oh, no one knows how I ease my pain. That is why I've been untrue. Every time I see reflections of your image, as a memory that won't fade. Now the time has come and gone once more. Who's to blame? Why do we make it so uneasy? Hurt the ones we love the most, yeah. Love tumbles in and out so quickly, yeah. And now it's time for us to go. Every time I see reflections of your image, there's a memory
Get out of that wall. It's time to ball. Get on out of your seat and move your feet. Get ready to move. 'Cause time to do what you got to do. When you're in the mood, when your heart starts jumping, oh yeah, 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 when your heart starts pumping.
Get off of that wall. It's time to ball. Get out of that seat and move your feet. Get ready to move, 'cause it's time to groove. Oh, what you got to lose? Oh, when you're in the mood, when your body starts jumping. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And your heart starts pumping.
Everybody, don't you know, got to be ready. 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 Gotta be ready, just gotta be ready to go, child. Put a smile on your face, makes the world better. Say a smile on your face, makes the world better. With a smile on your face, makes the world better.
Smile on your face,
makes the world better. Smile on your face, makes the world go round. Oh, could you walk and dance and move it to the rhythm? Would you walk and dance and move it to the rhythm? Would you walk and dance and move it to the rhythm? Would you walk and dance and move it to the rhythm?
walk and dance and move to the rhythm. Yeah. It's time to ball. Get out of that seat and move your feet and get ready to move. 'Cause it's time to move. So what you got to lose when you're in the mood? When your heart starts jumping.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And your heart starts pumping. One time. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Oh yeah, yeah.
This is a song I wish you would have done of the Yaskis.
Next year.
Life is so surreal.
Life is unknown.
Listen to the wind.
Fly like the wind. And every time I see you standing there, you look at me with a golden smile. And I see the light. And see the Where are you going?
I don't know your name.
Where have you been?
Life is so surreal.
Life is unknown.
Listen to the wind.
Fly like the wind. And every time I see you standing there, you look at me with a golden smile. I see the light.
DDRoyal. Ladies on there, songwriting team, DDRoyal. Get your groove on, baby. Time, child, you gotta make up your mind, gal. It's a matter of time, sugar, for you to be mine. Give it to me. Well, why spend your time just holding back? Keep thinking about the things that you like. You should be out there doing your due. Cause nobody does it quite like you. Give it to me.
Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Baby, can't you see?
Time.
It's a matter of time, child, for you and me.
Time.
It's a matter of days for you to stay.
Time.
Where you going, baby, now? When you're on your way.
DDRoyal in the house. Let's take them up a notch, guys. Okay, cool. Smell the rose. Yes. Yes, yes. This next song, you know, we're a songwriting team, so if you haven't heard the music before, it's because you haven't heard us, and without Mr. T, you wouldn't have. Thanks, Mr. T! This song actually was written at the same hour of the 9/11, and everybody has their take on it, and this is a story that got me through it, and we just got to prepare ourselves, is all I got to say. And the song goes like this. Ha! Ha! I'm not too fast. Smell the room, respect the fire, understand that true love responds desire. Smell the room, respect the fire, understand that true love responds desire. The true power of the world is in the hearts of man. So until we reach that peaceful peace can't stand. It's bound to happen for the blind can't see. Don't you know true vision is when you're feeling weak? Out of the ashes, out of the rubble, Lord, I learned to stand strong in time of trouble. So I just smell my roses. Just smell the rose. Smell your rose. Smell the rose. Smell the rose.
Don't you know you can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door? Don't you know you can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door? Don't you know you can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door? Don't you know you can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door?
Take a little video time
Don't you
out
know
and
you can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door?
touch somebody with love.
Don't you know you can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door?
So much a little bit of kindness.
You can't smell the rose if you don't open up the door.
Can I love you, baby?
Don't you know you can't smell the
You're
rose if you don't open up the
lady.
door?
Smell the rose. Respect the fire. Understand that true love responds desire. Smell the rose. Respect the fire. Understand that true love responds desire. The true power of the world is in the heart of man. So until we reach that peace, we'll be can stand. It's about to happen for the blind can't see. Don't you know true vision is when you're feeling weak? Out of the ashes, out of the rubble, Lord, I learned to stay strong in times of trouble. Sugar, just smell the rose. Smell the rose.
Smell the rose. Smell the rose.
Thank you.
All right, we're rolling this camera over here. Now, did I tell you? Did I tell you? We brought some love into the Madhouse tonight. Let me tell you, you guys are amazing. You can play, man. You can play. I dug that Zeppelin thing you did there, too. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. It's about bringing great people together for great feelings and just make people feel good. And I know they just made you guys feel good. That I know, because they made me feel good. It's only me and Janine here, and that's why you'd hear a thunderous roar if that was just me back there. And Janine's in the booth, but she was digging it. She was dancing away. But we love these guys. DDRoyal, pick up your phones, you guys booking stuff, and how could you not want these guys at your show? And don't forget, this was their acoustic set. They have drums. My man over here, not only is he amazing bass player, he's an amazing drummer. So check him out, DDRoyal. Go on Facebook. All you guys booking out there, you want these guys in your club because, like Mike said before, it's happy music. It just makes you feel good. And this world we live in, we could all use some feeling good. I can tell you that. So, guys, I can't thank you enough. They made a long trip down here. I wish you well. Anything I could ever do to help you guys out, I'm there in 2 seconds. That I promise you. Next time I'll have to do that little one with you that I didn't get to do, but we'll do it. So it was a great show. I loved every second of it. I hope you guys did too. So DDRoyal, the Maverick Soul, and Madhouse TV, and my main girl in there, Janine Zarilli, who does all the hard work here. God bless you all. I got a great show next week for you. Tune in. And if you didn't see the Woodstock show from last week, check that out because that will bring you pretty close to where it's at. So God bless you all. Peace to you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.